Today we are going to study the double sideband suppressed carrier modulation and demodulation. Before to that, we'll see again what is the AM wave. It's the mathematical representation and the facts related to the amplitude modulation, that is double sideband full carrier. Here this VAM consists of carrier signal, lower sideband and the upper sideband. That means while transmitting the amplitude modulated signal, that is double sideband full carrier signal along with lower sideband and upper sidebands are get transmitted. Here the fact is that carrier does not contain any information, but carrier signal doesn't contain any information. Second, lower sideband and upper sideband contain the same information. Third one, 2/3 of total power is get utilized for transmission of the carrier signal. So almost 66% of total power is get utilized in transmitting the carrier signal in case of the double sideband full carrier technique. So power requirement, if you see PAM PC into 1 plus m square by 2. If I solve this, PC is equal to 2/3 of PAM. That means 66% of total power is get utilized to transfer this carrier signal. Okay. So the application where power requirement is stringent one or low power application, then in that case there is no need to transfer this carrier. So in that case new variant of the amplitude modulation comes in the picture, that is double sideband suppressed carrier. Here carrier signal is get suppressed in the balance modulator and output equation of double sideband suppressed carrier waveform is mvc square by 2 cos of omega c minus omega mt, that is the lower sideband, minus mvc square by 2 cos of omega c plus omega mt, that is the upper sideband. If you observe the amplitude of DSB-SC, then here Vc is equals to 0. That means V minimum is 0 and amplitude is Vm sin omega mt. Whereas in case of amplitude modulation, you are having the amplitude of this carrier. You are having amplitude of this carrier, that is the Vc. So amplitude, net amplitude is Vc plus Vm sin omega mt. These are the time domain representation of DSB-SC and air DSB-FC. You observe here V minimum is equals to 0. This is upper envelope and this one is lower envelope, and amplitude of this carrier signal is get varied in accordance with modulating signal. And the total power required in case of this DSB-SC is P is equals to PC m square by 2. Whereas in case of VAM, you are having the carrier amplitude, and again here it generates the two envelope, upper one and lower one, top envelope and bottom envelope, and amplitude of this envelope is Vc plus Vn sin omega mt. Power requirement here in PAM is equals to PC plus PC m square by 2. So what's the difference in this carrier power? Now this carrier power we have to remove. This carrier power is removed in DSB-SC. Carrier power is removed in DSB-SC. So again similarly it generates the two envelopes. These are the time domain representation. Okay. Now we'll see practically how to generate the DSB-SC signal, that is double sideband suppressed carrier signal, using the IC modulator, and how to reconstruct the original information signal using the demodulator by the experimental. For double sideband modulation and demodulation practical, we have set the amplitude of modulating signal to 2 volt peak to peak and 1 kilohertz frequency. And the carrier signal is set to again 2 volt peak to peak and 10 kilohertz frequency signal. DSB-SP modulator and demodulator trainer mainly consist of 6 blocks, mainly one power supply block, sine generator. Now here IC XR2206 waveform generator IC is used to generate the sinusoidal waveform as a modulating signal. And here port P1 is vary to change the frequency of the signal, and second port it is used to vary the amplitude of the signal. The second one RF carrier signal generator, that is used first generation BC 548 transistor. Third block is the low pass filter. Fourth one is the balance modulator. IC 1496 is used as a balance modulator, modulating signal, that is the output from sine generator, is applied to this balance modulator circuit. Then output of this carrier generator block is also connected as input to the balance modulator. Then at the output of this balance modulator, we have to observe double sideband suppressed carrier signal. Then the output from the modulator block we have to connect to the demodulator circuit. Okay. At the demodulator, another input is the carrier signal, and we have to observe whether output of demodulator is similar to modulating signal or not in respect to frequency as well as the amplitude. So we'll start the connection to observe the DSB-SC signal. As we have seen, the modulating signal is connected to the balance modulator. Output of signal sine generator is connected to input to the balance modulator. Another input to this balance modulator is from the carrier generator. Since we have to observe both the signal, here modulating signal is connected to CRO probe. As we will also observe the carrier signal. output of balance modulator. One CRO probe is connected to this. Now this completes the connection for double sideband suppressed carrier modulation. Now we'll check the waveform. Here we are having the waveforms for modulating signal. This one is the modulating signal and the output waveform of balanced modulator. This is called as a double sideband suppressed carrier signal. Here we'll observe V minimum is equals to 0. V minimum is 0. Now we change the amplitude of modulating signal. We'll change the amplitude of modulating signal. Accordingly, the amplitude of DSB-SC signal goes on changing. Here, amplitude of the carrier signal varies in accordance with instantaneous value of the modulating signal. So, it is a amplitude modulation. Now we will increase the amplitude of carrier signal. So increase in, this is effect on DSB-SC signal by increasing the amplitude of carrier signal. See, changing the frequency of the carrier signal. This is what the perfect DSB-SC waveform. Now output of the balance modulator is connected to the input to the demodulator circuit block, and output of demodulator is connected to low pass filter, and that the waveform of at the output stage of low pass filter is observed over here. Now this signal is the modulating signal and this one is the demodulated signal. Now we'll check by varying the amplitude of modulating signal. If we decrease the amplitude of modulated signal is also decreases, and further if we increase it increases. Now by changing the frequency of modulating signal, frequency of demodulating signal is also changes. So this is about the practical